Hello everyone. My name is Heather Aston and this is my channel, TT's Trinkets and Treasures. Welcome. If this is the first one of my videos that you've stumbled along in that little corner of the World Wide Web known as YouTube, welcome. I hope you find this video informative and entertaining enough that you will want to consider subscribing, changing the bell notification to all so that you never miss a release of one of my videos in the future. If you're a returning viewer, hi guys. Thanks for being here, ladies. I appreciate it. You guys are the reason I'm still doing any of this. So should I blame you or is that a compliment? No, just kidding. Sorry. Anyways, so we had a little situation today. So I was looking through the stuff from this month's bargain bead box, and I know that I've told you guys that I've been using these little stackers, and I have them in a lazy Susan on my desk so that I can just spin, can see everything from that current bead box or a past bead box that I wasn't done creating with, whatever. So I was getting ready to do a video with bargain bead box, and all of a sudden I turned the wheel and I saw that all of the beads from last month's dollar bead box went beautiful. Then I went looking for one thing and stumbled on a treasure trove in my own stash. I actually had like a container that's 5 layers of little tic-tac machines that are all checked glass. How does a person forget that they have all that checked glass? I don't know, but I did it. So I started pulling things, and then I found stuff from Sam's, mostly from the month bead box houseplants that Jessie put together. The greens go with all these yellows perfectly, so I'm really excited. So I have dollar bead box, I have bargain bead box. Of course, I had beads from Bernie's Beads, and who am I missing? Thunder Horse Descendant. Yes, I have a whole bunch of jade from Thunder Horse Descendant, as well as some amazing, I believe these are called the ammonite, little hafts that I pulled. And look at the woo, chartreuse, the yellowy green. Perfect to go with this month's bead box. So we have bargain bead box, we have dollar bead box, we have Thunder Horse Descendant, we have Bernie's Beads, and last but not least, we have Sam's Bead Shop or bead box, however you want to look at it, because it's kind of both, right? I did change up the lighting a little bit. I went ahead and put on the overhead light, but still kept my studio lights on so that I don't look like I'm glowing in the dark. So you guys will have to let me know how you like it, whatever. Please leave me comments if there's anything you guys want me to make or a technique you would like me to learn so I can teach you, or if there's one I already know, that makes it easier on me. But so we are having a bead party with all the peoples. So we have so much fun stuff. I'm very excited. This will probably be more than one video, otherwise we'd be here forever. I have that many beads that go with this month, so I'm really excited to get started. So let's go down to the mat. Pixie's not in the right spot. Right here, Pixie. He likes to look at my lap sometimes. Okay, let's go down to the mat and see what we're playing with. So most of this, I don't know why I still have these up. Most of this stuff, that's not even true. So these greens, these are all either this month's bargain bead box or dollar bead box. These came from Thunder Horse Descendant. This also came from this month's box. I have dollar bead box in here. That's what, I have so much stuff on my desk that you guys don't even get to see everything. Because Pixie thinks he knows where I want him to go. So I have these gorgeous green aventurine bicones that I got from Randy Brown. at Thunder Horse Descendants. That's also where I got these. And I have 2 sets of those. I also got these jade teardrops from her. And like I said, I have a ton of yellow and green jade that I got from her when I was doing a series with them. So that was great. And then you guys saw these last month. They're like the Golden Delicious apple color. And we have a little bit darker of a color. And I also have some of these that have a bronze wash on them. Then I went to looking to see what else could go with everything. And that's when I just stumbled upon this, all of this stuff, and just started cultivating myself a little thing. This is from the Houseplants Bargain Bead Box, Garnet's my birthstone. These peach flowers are also from Sam's Bead Shop. Sorry, these are from Sam's Bead Shop, not Bargain Bead Box. I apologize. This is some preonite that I believe came in a box. I don't know which one. Sorry. Oh wow, I forgot. I didn't think I had that many of these beautiful green aventurine, which you guys know that I just did all of that. The herringbone wraps, so this goes perfectly. We've got some sunstone, which again perfectly. These were just, I had a oh my god and then a oh I'm so sad moment with these gunmetal jump rings. These are like the most perfect jump rings I've ever seen in my life. You cannot see where they close without like looking real closely. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad I found these. And I was like, I don't remember where I got these, but I've got quite a few. So, and then we have just some of the various, this is just some, Botswana agate, that I had in my stash, aquamarine that came from Sam's Bead Shop. These were part of the Art Deco box. But most of all of the beads in here that are from Sam's Bead Shop are the green ones from the Houseplants box. But I also found like these stunning, they are so heavy, guys. Little like spacer beads. I found some good ones. Like, look, I wanted to go and get some green wire, but I had 2 doctor's appointments today and it's already 9 o'clock at night and this is the only thing that I've started doing today. So I have all of that. I have my sterling silver little lotus flowers, which I love. Those are which I thought, what I thought could be really cool is if you did a herringbone wrap on this, but did it in green wire, and then I think it would look like leaves, which I've not given up on, but there's a whole bunch of different like greens and whatnot in here. They're absolutely beautiful. I also found this brown fossilized coral beads. They're all like top drilled in different shapes. They're beautiful. And will go great with this. They'll go great with the, I think these are ammonites. I hope I'm saying the right thing. But like I said, I have 2 pair. This one I feel goes really well with it. This one I feel like could be what needed to like calm it. Plus goes very well with this check glass from the Dollar Bead Box. And then like there were these flowers from last month. There's all kinds of stuff that we're going to be able to play with and make and just kind of let's marry them all together rather than taking bits and pieces and not having the full selection to pull from in order to create with. So didn't want to limit myself by saying, oh, I need to do a dollar bead box video, I need to do a bargain bead box video, I need to do a Sam's bead box. No, I pay for all of my own bead boxes myself, so I can kind of like, I don't have rules or anything from them, so we can go from there. But I'm excited to start because I want to get into this box or this situation that all came from. It started with the bargain bead box, and then it just kind of all had a trickle down effect from that point forward. So, pardon me if you hear puppies in the background, even though it's 9 o'clock, they don't know it's bedtime. They are just furry little toddlers after all. Yeah, so we have a lot of really fun stuff. I haven't even scratched the surface with the stuff that I could pull onto my mat. So let me kind of get this cleaned up a little bit, and then I will be back to go over what we're going to do first. So I'll be right back. It'll be like that for you. Don't worry. Sorry that took so long. Anyways, okay, I went through. I'm like 90% sure I know what I'm gonna do on this. Now look, I know your girl can sometimes go on a little tangent where she does the same thing over and over and over again. Which I'm not going to do. Kinda. I'm gonna kind of mix two things I've been doing over and over again. So I'm gonna mix a project that is part stringing and part herringbone, because these elongated bicones are beautiful and I think would be gorgeous wire. I did, however, forget to see if I did have some green wire in my bottom drawer over here. So hold on, I have like a whole side desk that pulls out that has to wait for me to look down in my bottom drawer. So hold on just a second. I kind of sworn I had some green wire. I have some green leather down here, but nothing that will work for this. But I'm telling you guys, if you haven't gone through your stash in a while, it's like shopping that doesn't cost you money. Well, it costs you money originally, but it doesn't cost you money to find those beads again. So please, I took Rosanna's lead on that. She was like, "Oh, I found some great stuff," and I'm like, "Maybe I have some great stuff." I also have all of the beads over there that I can go and draw from, so your girl's good. But let's go down the mat so I can show you. Step out in front of my computer, so it's not. Okay, here we go. Let me show you what I kind of came up with. So, what I was thinking, I either want to wire wrap these beautiful, they look like sea glass. I cannot confirm or deny that that's what they are, so we'll just say it looks like sea glass. So, I was thinking if maybe we did something like so. I want to use this as, I'm either going to use this or this. I haven't completely decided yet. And by the way, yes, they are called ammonites. I wasn't just like making stuff up. I thought I was right, but I double checked. I asked Google. So, or I have this like darker yellow jade pendant, which could be really pretty. I have like 3 different shades. But what I was thinking is that it could be kind of cool if like I do this little squatty bicone in a herringbone. That could be pretty. I could do it with these green like sea glass ones, or even with these yellow ones. So I just need to decide because I found the gold wire. I found 26 gauge gold wire. So we're good to go there. But I also have like these bright green, like pebble shaped. And then I have these that are like leaf shaped. They're so pretty. And I kind of like, I'm going to figure out the best way to use this. But, so, and I have these like quatrefoil. They're not diamonds. They actually like go in all the way. So these are quatrefoils that I thought could be pretty as well. So we just have to decide. I'm going to use gold wire for this project. So I just have to decide, like, do I want to do you see the state of this wire? But you know your girl's not gonna waste this, so we will figure it out. Um, so I just have to decide, like, do I want to wire wrap around the yellow, or will that just get lost? Or do we want to go around the sea glass because that could be pretty? So here's my thought. I say we do one of each, see how it turns out, and we can go from there. I'm going to do these on 20 gauge wire, not on 18 gauge. I could, um, but I would rather just do it on 20 gauge because these are just going to be like short little links. So let me grab some tools real quick. I'm gonna want the center. Sure. Okay, no, those are fine. So let's start with the green sea glass. And there's nothing saying that I can't do what I did for the headpiece. Oh, I haven't posted a picture yet, but it's not in here. It's out in the car. Dang it. It's okay. It could be kind of cool if I were to like do a link where this was herringbone wrapped and so were like one of these on either side. That could be a really cool link. But real quick, I'm not going to go through the technique. Once we decide, or I decide, why I just flipped something on the ground and I don't know what. Please tell me it wasn't one of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, good. Oh yeah, because look, I found these little bicones too. That would be really, really pretty. Like I could just go. Let's see, I have these that could go in between. So I'm kind of going back and forth about whether I want a string or do I just want, or do I want to do a couple of herringbone links in amongst the stringing and just attach them. So let me cut off, not that bicone. Let me cut off about, this is way too much, but I accidentally cut about 10 inches. So we're going to grab our piece of 20 gauge wire and we're going to anchor it by kind of just pulling it around. I'm going to take these out later on, but oh yeah, I said I wasn't going to go through the process until we knew which one we're going to do, but I'm going to. Okay, so here's the green bicone. You want to go up around the side, hold it in place, go over, under, and all the way back out. And I like to pull the wire down more. And then what I do is once we've got that first anchor point, I go ahead and I cut off the extra wraps that I needed to like secure this. And I'm just going to go around. So I'm just going to hold on to that again. I'm going to go over all the way down and through. When we get to the other side, you want to make sure the wire goes down to the side all the way around. And like I said, once I decide exactly what it is I'm going to do, if I'm good, this green looks so pretty with the gold though. It's like perfectly on the side. You see how pretty that is? But I think it's going to need more than 3 wraps. So I'll make it. So see, it's taken no time at all to make this unassuming little bicone that looks like sea glass. Oops. And I made it into a beautiful little link with little wire wraps all around the side. So we could just do this, or we could also wire wrap around the yellow and make that a link in and of itself, where I just do bicone, yellow bicone. So I am going to pull this off. Don't cry. It was not a lot of weight. It wasn't a lot of wire. It's okay. Because now I want to wrap. See? still on there. Obviously, I just go like that and it pops out, but that's okay. All right, I'm gonna use the same wire. I'm gonna have to pull a little bit more for the Yellowstone, just so. And you're probably asking, Heather, why are you taking us through this process? Because I want you guys to see like what my design process is and all the stuff I do behind the scenes. Before I come on for a recorded and sometimes live, although most of my lives are just kind of like a fly by your seat of the pants. Okay, so we're gonna put the yellow bicone on there. We're gonna come up around the side, over, around, and out. Then we're gonna come over here. We're gonna undo that extra little wrap so that it doesn't get bulky just on the one side because it's going around other wraps. So we don't want that. So we're just gonna go up, over, and out. And then we're up, over, and out. And we're just gonna go, and this is beautiful. I feel like if this was antique bronze wire, this would be pretty. Unfortunately, I don't have that in 26 gauge. You guys, we might just have to do like a whole herringbone link because look at how pretty that is. You see those herringbone wraps? It's so pretty. So, as I was saying, we might have to do it where we go bicone, bicone, bicone. Like that. Oh, with a little spacer in between. So pretty. Okay, so I think that's what we're gonna do. This poor little piece of wire has been mangled from me like not being careful. That one didn't get a full wrap. But look at that. It's so pretty. Love it. Okay, that's how you can take a very, I don't know if this is yellow jade or aventurine. I've already forgotten, even though I just unboxed this like 2 days ago. I don't remember. Okay, 20 gauge. We're going to pull out a larger one because we're going to do the 3 pieces. And now I will go through the process a little bit slower, just so that I can walk you through how to do this. So we obviously have to start with the green one. And for that one, we need like 6 inches. There's no reason to put a whole bunch of extra. Oh, before I get started though, just to try to help this stay like nicer, first I want to flatten it completely, which I do. Linda from Gumnut Jewelry, she just basically places this on a flat surface and rolls something like this or like the bottom of a like spool of leather, anything. And she straightens it to the best of her ability, and then she takes it over. And I have, like I said, I have this that's too soft. That's not right. Okay, let's do this. And I have to hold it so it doesn't go flying. But this is a perfectly straight piece of wire. Something you're never going to get with like nylon draw pliers. There's always going to be a slight curve in them, but there it is. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, because I can't find my bunch block still, I still don't know what I did with that sucker. Let's see. I could have sworn I put it right here, like next to me, and it's not here. It's driving me bad. I do also have this one bargain bead box, but it's all like pearls and copper, which will be fun to do herringbone with later on, but it doesn't go with any. I mean, there might be a couple of things that I could pull in, but I'd rather just do those by themselves. And then I have, if you saw how many bead suits I have, you would be like, what are you doing with your life, lady? And making jewelry and having fun and making a mess while doing stuff. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to take, I have both of these are softer. They're not metal, so probably should have flattened because doing this process does hurt a lot. So I'm purposely using this so it doesn't flatten the wire. That's not what I want. I just want this to be stronger than I just shot beads across the room with this sucker. So it wasn't anything I wanted to use. Okay, let me straighten this again now that it's been worked hard in. A little bit more. I just don't want it to look all mangled like the last piece of wire did. So, and I'm only going to do that part once, don't worry. And then I got to kind of straighten it out so it doesn't have that big of a curve because there's a curve in the middle that doesn't want to come out. Ugh. I don't know how this works, but it does. So, okay. Let's start with the loop up top. I'm going to use my 6-step bell making pliers just so that they're all the same. And I'm going to start with the one step. And I'm just going to do my little hybrid wrapped loop, which I just make a little angle. And I don't even need that much wire, so I don't want to cut that much. But then I go into the crook. So I'm not vertical and I'm not horizontal. I'm at a 45-degree angle with the barrel directly in the corner of this angle. So I'm going to go, come on, stay where you're supposed to, up, over, down. Now I'm going to go horizontal. I'm going to kind of, because I didn't use too much. Okay, so now you can see that I have my loop. I don't like wrapped loops that have like multiple wraps because I feel like it takes up too much space in a design and I'd rather just put beads there. So, and I don't like simple loops because they come undone. So I came up with this hybrid loop, which just means that I'm just going to take another pair of pliers and I'm going to pull that around. Oops, sorry. And up to where this loop originally started. So we just have one loop. I will tell you that I have done strength tests with this, and this holds up just as well as 3 wraps does. The only thing that, like, I've white knuckled pulled it, I had a sample of it in case. I'm just gonna show you guys. I had it out, and now I don't see it. I see a bunch of components I made out of copper wire. Not sure. But I pulled them, white knuckled it, and they don't come apart. The only thing that happens is that the loop can get distorted. So, I did pull it a little bit too far off to the side. Just barely. Just because when I go to cut it, I don't want there to be like for it to be hard to do. And you'll see I cut it literally right where it meets where the loop started. And this is just as strong as a triple wrapped loop. I will also come in here and kind of tamp stuff down when I'm done. Okay, so first things first, we need to get a piece of wire. This like big loop that's hanging out, I don't know what it's doing, but it's driving me bonkers. There's too many tools, I guess. Okay, so I'm gonna grab, I don't know, about 6 inches. I don't need that much, but I will tell you that it's better to have a little bit too much wire than not enough. I'm gonna come and I'm gonna secure this exactly the way I did when I did the samples. Actually, I think I might not even have to put an extra curve, like an extra wrap in there. Okay, so we're going to bring one of our little green bicones in and we're going to pull it down. And we're going to go up around the side. We're going to hold that with our thumb so it stays in place. You're going to go over the central wire and all the way down and then back out. And like I said, I like to pull down so that when I go to form the curve on the other side, it's like not in the way. But I am going to cut this wire now that I'm doing the hair. Okay, so I'm going to come up. Oh, no, I cut the wrong part. Man, okay, hold on. I apologize. This might be enough to still do it. Let's get in it first and see how much wire it takes. Okay. Again. You're going to anchor this wire to the 20 gauge. And we're going to push those together. And then I'm actually going to cut this now rather than later since that caused a problem just a second ago. I'm going to put the green bicone down on the gold. I'm going to take the wire up and around the outside edge of the bicone, so that perfect diamond shape. Hold that with my thumb as I go over the core wire, down, around, all the way back over and down. Then we're going to go to the other side of this pretty little bicone. And we are going to go, and we're going to do the exact same thing. Up along the side, up, over, and out. And then you're just going to repeat that, but when you get to the next wires, you always want it to go behind the first wire. Now, there are people who are able to stack their herringbone wraps, like one on the top of the other, but I think those are half round wire, which I don't have, or I would try. But so the standard herringbone is typically like 3 wraps, and you're good to go, which I'm almost completed now. And I always go around an extra time. So there's that one. We'll cut off the excess waste. And then we will move this down to where it's right under the loop. Then I'm going to grab a spacer. Look at those other ones I found today. I want to use a gold spacer, but I'm afraid the one I have right here might be a little bit big. But it may be what we're going with because it's right here. So these are just 3mm little ball spacers that I got from Bargain Bead Box. And it might actually look better with like a larger bead next to it. Or in between them. So I'm going to put that right there just to add a little bit of separation while still keeping the loop. Then we're going to cut another piece of wire. This one has to be slightly longer. So instead of like 6, I'm probably pulling off 8. And that might be excessive. We'll find out. I'm going to start by anchoring this. And since it worked so well last time, I'm just going to do that first singular wrap. I'm going to cut off the excess. I'm then going to put our bicone on. Man, I wish I knew if this was yellow adventurine or jade. It's going to drive me crazy. And we're going to start the process all over again. Obviously, we don't want to do it right up against this ball because we're going to need to make the wraps up top. So I'm going to just go right along the side of the bicone, hold that with my thumb, go up to the top, over, under, and out. Turn our piece of wire, and we're going to do the same thing on this side. Up along the side, hold with our thumb, over, under, and out. And then we're just going to do that for a total of 3 times. It appears that 8 inches is the exact perfect amount of wire to complete this. Going to grab my pliers, because as I did with the little green bicone, I like to go around an extra time when I'm done. And if there's anything on these that need to like be cleaned up, I typically do that after the fact, because I find it easier to like push down the wire when it's up against a bead and it can't go anywhere. That's the bottom. So there's that one. Now we're gonna put, I don't know how I like that big spacer. It'll be okay. It's not like, it's pretty. Just the one that I did during my Wednesday night wind down, which was the 11th of March, 2026. I used like a 2mm and it looks really pretty. But these are fine too. So I need another one. Why I didn't pull them out on the mat, I don't know. I'm going to do this link once and then I'm gonna go make the other ones off camera. And then I will come back so you guys aren't having to watch each and every single time that I wrap one. Like I said, in the Wednesday night wind down, I walked through this entire process. I may just do 2 of these, just like one on one side, one on the other, and string the rest. Like this could be my secondary focal, and then just do chain up around the back. That may end up being what we do. And we will just string the bottom portion of this. Okay, I'm gonna grab the other. That should be enough for the green one. And yes, if it looks like one is facing one way and one is facing the other, it absolutely is. I fixed all of that before I do the loop on the other side, which will hold it into place better. So we've got our wire anchored. We're going to grab another one of the little greens. It's either frosted glass or sea glass. I'm not sure. Where is your hole? Oh, this bead has no hole. There's like no hole in that bead. I certainly hope I have enough. That one has a hole. That one has a hole. I need 2 for the other side. Hole and a hole. Okay. I was like, man, that's gonna make me upset. Okay, we're gonna go up along the side, hold it with your thumb, up over the top and out. Then we're gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. We're gonna go up around the side, hold it in place, go over and out, going over that little bit of connective wire. And then you're just gonna do this until you've done it 3 times on each side. And then we will finish it off with an extra little wrap. And then we're going to go in and we're going to cut that. Okay, so here's our first little link. It's not really a little link. It's going to be a little bit, but, and like I said, it's a little bit, it's a lot misshapen than it would have been if I had not done the work hardening. But I'm trying to decide where I think my loop needs to be like facing out. So I'm going to get all of these beads in place. And the good thing about the hybrid loop is you can come in and bend directly where that bead ends, which gives you the, it secures the beads in place. So then we're just going to come in, we're going to go right in the crook, up, over, and down, go horizontal, back behind, and we're just going to go around and over that first time, just like that. And then we will cut this, fix our loops. Oh, yeah, fix our loop. And then we have our link. So I'm going to go make the other one really quick off camera, and then I will be back. Just a second. Like I said, shouldn't take more than a... Okay, I'm back. I'm back. So, did anybody else notice just as I was going live or putting the recording on pause, that I didn't just cut the excess wire, I cut one of the wires of my top herringbone. So I had to start that whole link over again. And wouldn't you know it, you saw that I found one bicone that had no holes, which I don't understand. And I said, ooh, I think I just flipped something across the room. Papa wasn't anything we need. It was a bicone, the green one that I wanted. And then something else went flying. Again, the bike. Couldn't find anything but the one with no holes. Go searching, scavenger hunt around the floor, which I know all of you guys probably have the same thing under your bead disc. If not, please tell me how you keep that from happening, because the carpet's just too much. If it wasn't carpet, I'd be good. I think I just need to get one of those great big huge plastic chair mats, so then it's not getting lost in the carpet. But anyways, finally found it. Just to come up, start to do it, and I see another one sitting right on my bead mat in the spot that I had searched. But I just wanted to admit that yes, I know. I cut that bead, or I cut that herringbone. I didn't mean to, but we're done. So we're going to move on to the focal, and then we're going to do the stringing portion. So, oh, and I did find some slightly smaller gold balls. The ones that I had that came in the bargain bead box, I think are like 3.2 millimeter. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I found some that are like 2.5, which 0.7 millimeters. It made a big difference. I'll show you. See? Oh, goodness. See, it's not quite as big. This is the one that was on there. Oh, wait, no, not that. Not switchy bit. This is the one that was on there originally. So you can see how, like, it is a big difference. Even that 0.7 millimeters made a big difference. But I have my two links finished. Mostly finished. No, they're finished. But, you know, I'm going to flex. And you guys, I will tell you that I like to go back in and kind of compress my wraps a little bit. If they're separated, just make sure that when you're doing so, I just pretty big on these ones. Only one really needed a bit of futzing around. Very technical term. In case you didn't know. What was I going? Oh, so I go in and I like kind of, like I said, there's gonna be parts where like it's not the perfect shape, but it doesn't need to be perfect. And you don't ever want to compress your wrap so much that one of the back ones jumps over, because I'll tell you now, when that happens, it's almost easier to just restart it than trying to get that wrap back behind the other. And I see I have a little in poking out. There we go. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking for the focal. Pixie, you need to come up here with us. Nope, not that way. Right there. See? I don't want you to look over there. Okay. So I'm going to go with the lightest one of the jade. And I think I just want, so it's top drilled. Pixie, where'd you go? Come on. There. Okay, stay right there. Don't move. Okay, so I think I just want to do something really simple. It's drilled from back to front right at the top. So I figured I'd grab some 22 gauge wire, go through the top of that, kind of secure it. Then I'll put this on and do the wrap loop. And that's where the strung portions will start and attach to. And then we will do the strung, we will add our links, and then chain around the back of the neck. So that's where we're going with all of this. So I'm going with 22 gauge wire because I don't want, that's 20, 20, 24, 26. Of course, I have every other size right here. That's good. It's okay. I happen. Okay. 22 gauge. So I don't want to put 20 gauge through because those holes are pretty close up to the top and I don't want to risk breaking it. I have an, this really, it's not really 22 gauge wire. Is it? It feels like 20, no, it's 22. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to stress it or have the size of the wire compromise the hole at the top. So we're just going to cut a piece of wire about 4 or 5 inches. We're going to go through that hole on the top. Or do I want to wrap down around? I think I want to wrap. Oh, and it's a good thing I'm not trying to put 24 in there because that's like, there's some, like, yes, when she gets her, it's just like not pulling through smoothly. So, if I do decide to go down on the wrap, I'm trying to think how I'm going to add the green bead in before I go down and like do a swirl at the top. We'll figure it out. Okay, we're gonna cross these like so. You're going to come to the back and you're going to put the short one straight back and the long one straight up. Then you're going to grab your connection point if you can. And then you're just going to wrap the 22 gauge wire. I couldn't grab it with my pliers. So I will go ahead and compress this down to where I need it to be. But we're going to go over the top of it, so I'm not all that worried. Okay. Then, yeah, that's good. I just almost cut that. I bought some tape because I do that all the time. I have all like black and gray pliers, and so I do it all the time. But okay, then I think we're just gonna go ahead and put the bicone on now. And then we will just bend this back. We're going to do a wrap loop. I'm going to go ahead and do the second step. So since we will have 2 connection points with the side pieces. So just to make sure that there's space, I'm going to go down, around. I'm going to come up and out the side. And I'm going to do my wrap. Now, I want this to stay in pretty well. So I'm going to go around again like that. It's covered most of the top. How do I want to go again? Right now, it's not sitting on top of each other. It's kind of going out. There we go. There was one part of the bicone that wasn't covered. Now that I have that, I'm going to hold on to this. And I'm just going to kind of swirl this around the green. And then once I have that done, where can I hold on? Right here, maybe? Nope. And then I'm just going to slowly come down around until, nope, Oops, that lost. I don't want those ones to stack. Okay, now, if you're thinking, Heather, why'd you stop? They're still wired. Because I'm going to create a spiral with this. Oh, but it needs to be this way. I need to bring that back around. I don't want a large spiral, so that's okay. So to do this, I'm going to grab my micro round nose pliers. I'm going to come to the very tip of the wire at the tip of the plier to where you can't feel anything. And I'm going to start rolling. Now, I actually got a very round, I actually got a very round loop. Normally, I would go in and cut that, like the straight bit, but I got a very nice wrap on that. I'm gonna grab my wider nose pliers. I'm hoping this isn't like causing focusing issues. Oh, let's go that way, Heather. Oh, I need to get another mat out. But okay, so now I'm gonna grab my round nose pliers and I'm just gonna hold this in place, and using my thumb, I'm just going to slowly rotate around. I don't want to like mess with it. So see, I will have a little hole in the middle of my spiral. You can see that. There you go. But that's okay. Sometimes I like it all the way down, but because it was such a nice, like, round shape, I didn't want to mess with it. So I'm just going to keep walking this up until we get, like, right there. Okay? You can see that the wire is going slightly under. That's okay. That's what I want. And there's a reason for it. When it's under the back, I can get it to sit down underneath my wraps better than when I'm just, now it's going to make a wire. Kids, wire, whatever. Everything's always trying to make a wire. So let's see. That's not what I wanted to do. What did I do wrong? I did pull out my spiral, that's for sure. I don't even know how I did that. Man, that was such a pretty spiral. Hopefully I can keep it that way. Okay, now pull that over there, off center. I'm gonna come in with my smaller ones, and I'm just gonna try to grab this wire and bend it. I got a little bit, but not enough. And then I'm just gonna wrap that up until it's right below-ish the pendant. And then you see I have this excess right here. I'm gonna very carefully try to bend that over more. And then again, I will just very carefully grab the wrap. There we go. That's much nicer looking. Okay, so we have our focal for our necklace. We have our secondary focal links. And now, would have been cool if I could herringbone that, but I like the way it is. I really do. I like the way that looks. I like that the top looks like it almost has a bead cap on, the spiral comes down. Got the second spiral that looks pretty. I'm happy. So, here's our secondary focal. Now, I have these little bicones that match our longer bicones nearly perfectly. And I did go with the lightest of the 2 bicones because all the rest of them were like a different shade. There weren't 2 that like matched well. Even the dark ones, this one has lighter up here and around the back. So when you put it next to the really dark one, it doesn't exactly match. This one is near clear. That's like a perfectly like butter yellow. But these were like the light, like sunshine yellow. So we're not using any more of those this piece, but we are going to use these. And then what I was thinking is that we could pull in some of these check glass. I believe it's with travertine. I have them in 3 and 4 millimeter. So we can kind of alternate the size if we wanted to. I have those. And then I also have these little flowers that are from the bead box Jessie designed. Really, is there really 2 more right here? Or is one of these the one without a hole? No, that one has a hole. Oh, this is the one without a hole. Okay, I was like, really? Are you going to tell me that there were 3 right there? Okay, so I have these little flowers, and I think they're like the perfect little transition, and it marries the yellow and the green together because they are both yellow and green. So we're going to use those, and we're just going to do I have 6 of those? Or do I only have 5? That'll be important. 2, how many are you? Here's the one. Okay, good. I wanted 3 of those. So here's what I'm thinking. We're going to do the flower, and that's going to be like the last bead before we go to our secondary focal. So, again, I don't want it to be too long because I want these to sit right here, like right at the top, and then we'll have chain that goes up and around the back. So that's what I'm hoping for, or that's what I'm aiming for. So obviously we're going to have 2 pieces of stringing wire. So we will work on one half and then come back over there. I was like, where did this go? And then we'll come back and do the other. Although, do I want to use gold wire? Yeah, I don't think I want to use the white. Those are pieces from other projects. So they'll go back in my scrap box. I mainly use that white wire under. Sorry, I'm trying to find my gold, which is in my top drawer. So I gotta move everything off my little extra desk thingy here so that I can close that. Are you serious? I just dropped you that I do not want to drop on the ground. There you are. Please come here. Okay, I have some Beadalon 19 gauge. I cannot believe I just dropped. I'd like drop these tubes because the little container they're in, the little flip cap. I think that's all of them. It's missing. And why I haven't moved it to a different one, they're very pretty crystals though. So I didn't want to lose them. Because they're very pretty. And I have an idea for those. 23. Okay. Not for this video, obviously. Alright, I'm gonna pull my desk back out, move everything back. I have my gold beading wire from Beadalon. We're going to pull out 2 strands about 8 inches, and I don't even think we need that much, but I do have to do the 2 wraps and everything else. So okay. So we are going to grab, well, actually, let's play around with the pattern first. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that I need a clippy, which are also in that top drawer. I was just in. Oh no, here's more. Okay, good. So what I'm thinking is that we can start with one of the little yellow. No, or should we just start with one of the flowers straight off? I think we should start with one of the flowers. Straight out of the gate, okay? And then what if, let's see, I think we might want to go 4mm here. But if I decide that I want to go smaller, oh, I want to see how many of this size of bead I have. 2, 3, not a lot. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm sure there's up here. Or I can go to the bigger ones now that it's not like in between all the others. Or I can go to this side. 6, 9, 12, 14. Okay, that should be more than enough. I'm not going to do the itty bitties. Okay, because what I'm thinking is we can go with the flower and go in with the gold bead. And then the 4mm travertine. No. Oh, I know why I was going to do 3mm. Okay, flower, gold bead. I'm trying to decide. I cannot decide. I go to this next? No, I can't because, yeah. So let's start. How many of these bicones do I have? I might just want to start with the bicones. And build my pattern off of that. I don't know why this is throwing me for a loop all of a sudden. So if we go to one of these, and then we do a spacer. I don't even know if I need the gold spacer right there. So if we go from the bicone to the 3mm travertine. Oh my goodness, why can I not figure out how I want to do this? I'm not really wanting to start with this green, but I might not have a choice. Okay, so green, gold spacer, bicone. And then we go the teeny travertine with a ball spacer in between. And then we put the flower on. Like so. I hope I'm gonna have enough of these little ball spacers, or I will be sad. 3mm. Bicone. Gold spacer. 4mm. There we go. So this is going to be our little pattern for the necklace. So I will probably only do like 2 repeats. So I wish I had 2 more of those little oval icons because that would have, or the green ones. That would have been pretty to pop that up there again. Okay, so what am I going to do in between the two patterns? Do I just go back to ball? I think I'm just going to go back to the ball spacer and then back to the bicone. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Okay, bicone, 3mm, ball, flower, ball spacer, 3mm, bicone, yes, 3mm, and then the 4mm. I originally had said that I wanted the flower to be the last bead, but I think this is good. Let me see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I think I had 14. 2, 4, 6. Please tell me this is the same size. Though I don't think it is. Nope. Oh, there. Oh, those ones are there. Okay. So if I take that and I join it in, oops, to this link, how long is that? I don't think that that will be too long. I think that'll be perfect, actually. Let's see. So from the top, it's only about 6 inches, and then this is 2 1/4, so that's 8 1/2. We're gonna put chain up around the back, so that's perfect. Okay, good. I'm happy. All right, here's our pattern. So I still intended to like go back to the bicone and end with the flower. But I don't think I have enough to do that with. Not in this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, I have exactly enough for what I've already done. Okay. Well then there's our strung little piece before it goes into our beaded link, which I think is going to be so pretty. And then this will be our focal. So I'm going to go ahead and do the crimping on the top here just to go through it really quick. But then after that, I will do all of the crimping off camera, bring it back. That way, because we're already at 1:08 or an hour and 8 minutes. And I would like to possibly try to figure out either a bracelet or an earring design to go with these. So we'll see. So crimping, yes. All right, we're gonna take number 2 crimp tube. I want to right up. Okay. Then we're gonna take this through the loop. Or do I want to connect it with joints? No, I don't. Right? What do you think? Oh, wait, I can't hear you. I don't go live till tomorrow. Okay. So, there's the wire. I'm going to grab a little buddy for it so that it crimps easier. And there's a little bit more in the ravioli, shall we say. I'm going to grab my magical crimpers, which have a little concavity in the middle. Works for number 2 pliers with 0.018 and 0.019 wire. I like to put a little bit extra. You're going to center it, your crimp, in that little concavity and squeeze. And you're going to take it out. You're going to rotate and only rotate your pliers. If you don't rotate your wires, then it won't, you'll stay in the center. I just messed up because I pulled it off. There we go. Okay. We are going to cut off the excess on the bottom of this. I have a little bit of a hot spot on here. So I'm going to grab my rotary tool. I normally have it ahead of time. I think it's all the way in the back of the store, though, which was not very smart on my part. I wanted it to be easier to get to. Okay, what I'm doing is I got just a little bit of a hot spot where it looks like when I turned it, and I said, oh, I popped out. I've got just this teeniest, tiniest bit, so I'm going to keep this away from my beading wire. I want to get rid of this little pokey spot. Okay, there we go. It's all the way gone now. I need the rotary tool up front, so it's not as much of a hassle to get to should I need it again. I just have way too much stuff on my desk right now. It's driving me crazy. Okay. Now we finished that side. Like I said, I gotta cut off the buddy wire on the other end too. But as I said, I'm gonna do the rest of the crimping off camera. I'm going to crimp this to our focal, and then I will grab some chain. I'll meet back with you to go ahead and show you how I'm going to attach that. So I will be right. Hello, I'm back. Okay, I have this done. I also made a bracelet, and I did it off camera, which I might do a couple times just to save on time. I only had one flower left over after, well, I will only have one once we do the earrings. So I just did it as the center with the 2 long bicones. And then I just went 3 spacer 4 spacer 3, and then I put a bicone and just completed that pattern. Before I added the couple of extra rings, which I only added 2 of them, it took it from the 6-inch to between 7 and 7.25. So if somebody that wanted it needed it slightly bigger, all I'd have to do is add another one. Speaking of which, we are going to use a couple of different things rather than just picking chain. Where did they go? I literally just, oh, here they are, right in front of my face. I have these little like links that just look like a ball spacer with loops on either side. So I'm going to use those. There's more. Yeah, you only need 4 of them. No. Okay. And then I'm going to use the same size oval jump rings that I did on the bracelet in between. So we got our necklace. We're going to go ahead and pop this together. And then I'm gonna finish earrings, and that'll be the end of this video one. But I will most likely, excuse me, make the second part will most likely be during my morning live on the 13th of May or March, 13th of March 2026. Just in case someone in the future comes across this video and they're like, oh wait, what? There's more than one? Yeah. And I just think these make like the prettiest chain. They just got like a little bit of detail, nothing fancy, nothing like real crazy. There's a really nice, like easy textural moment. I like that the loops are bigger than the ball spacer in the morning or in the middle because it provides some zero space, or like there's the jump rings and then there's these larger holes. And so that allows the brain to rest instead of going up and down, up and down, up and down on the pattern trying to figure something out. This makes it easier. So I don't think we're going to need very many of these because if you remember, we were, I might have to do more than what I thought I was just to make sure that it lays correctly. Let me see. I've only put 1, 2, 3, 4 on. Let's see where we're at. We're right at 8 inches. So I need to put like 3 more on, I would guess, for a total of 7. And then that should be enough to finish this off. And then I will do the earrings with you really quickly. They're just going to be a very simple, like, probably drop earrings. The only thing is I don't have any ear wires right here. So I'll probably have to make some, which just gives me an opportunity to show you that it is possible to make ear wires that are exactly the same size without like trying to do both of them at the same time or whatever else. That's really fancy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 more, 7. And we'll be good to go on this side. Obviously, I need the other side done as well. Plus, I'm going to need to put clasp on it. As far as the clasp, it'll likely just be a lobster clasp. But I will use, I'm going to end this with the larger oval jump ring. These are really nice jump rings too. I believe these came from Panda. They're very nice. 18 karat gold plated. Very nice. I would say they're probably 8x6. I'm going back and forth about ordering pliers so I can make my own oval jump rings because I pretty much mastered the round one. So, but I need to get some pliers, but I'm probably just going to buy. Wait, hold on. What did I just do? Oh, no, Heather, this is the first one. Okay, sorry. I was like, wait, is this with something else in there? No, I wasn't. Anyways, so there's some interchangeable ones that I think either Beadsmith or Beadalon has out. I'm not sure. but they are all nylon coated, which is really cool. I also would like to get the set of tools that are all like nylon jaw, like brown nose, chain nose, everything. Because especially when I'm working with the bronze and copper wire, it's not difficult to it's you can mar up your wire very quickly with them with regular pliers. So I kind of want to get those now that I'm getting into more wire work. Like that's my goal for this year. My goal last year didn't work out that great. It was to learn more about like liver of sulfur and oxidizing my wire and this and that. And what happened was I had three, three or four surgeries last year. I think it was three or four, one of the two. So I'm just trying to uh, I'm just trying to I can't remember what I was talking. Sorry. Ah, blah, blah. So I but this year's goal at working on wire work is in line with achieving last year's goal as well because as long as I'm doing wire work with copper and bronze wire, it's gonna need to be oxidized. So and or just polished because I quite like bright copper. I think it's very pretty. So same with the bronze wire. I'm not always going to want to oxidize it. But you see how that just happened with that jump ring? That little click noise? That can mar your metal. This is not dead soft copper wire, so it was able to handle that little skip. I have all the Zoran tools, and I have found that it skips like that more often with the um Zuron pliers. So two more, and then the class. So I need three more of the oval jump rings. Oh, caught it. Okay. I know I'm not the only one who like sits forward when something flips out of your hand. Catch it. But yes, it is now officially tomorrow. So if I'm going to like have any shot at accomplishing that, seven, okay, that's seven. So we're going to put one last of the big jump rings, even though I know we don't need to. I like the size of them, so that works out well. I will probably swap this itty bitty lobster claw out for the next size after the fact, but for now, we're just gonna set it on there. Now our jump ring, close our jump ring up. I already showed you the bracelet pattern. Now I just want to do a quick pair of earrings, and like I said, they are I'm going to show you how to make your own ear wires that will be the exact same on both sides. Oh, sorry. Okay, so there's our necklace. I'm very happy with it. I think it looks very pretty. Like anything else, unless I mention that something's not for sale, everything I make is for sale. So you can always just reach out to me if I make something that you really like. And as long as I still have it, I will give you a price for it and we'll go from there. Okay, so these earrings are going to be so quick and easy, guys. And the bracelet I made is going to be a series of stackers that will all kind of can be intermingled and whatever else. Okay, so we need some 20 gauge copper wire and some 22 gauge copper wire. I'm gonna do the drop. Oh wait, am I gonna do the drop like that? I have to not a so 22 gauge will probably be better. Okay, 22 gauge all around. Got my wire. Just gonna cut a piece. I'm going to take my round nose pliers. Oops, that one is not flush cut. You really want your end on a non-headphone to flush cut. Tip of the pliers to the tip of the, or the tip of the wire to the tip of the pliers. You're going to come around to the second point, and I'm going to go a little bit past because I don't like the way the end of this cut. There we go, much better. But typically you want to like leave your wire on the pliers just so you can bend the wire up in the direction of the little hole to make it easier. You're going to need a pair of nylon jaw pliers. You're going to hold on to this or put the pliers just above that knot. You're going to grab the end and you're just going to pull it through. And you will have a little knotted head pin here. Because my pliers wouldn't stay on the wires, I did go and fix that a little bit. And then I like to go just below the knotted head pin and then straighten it as I come out. So you guys see the easiest pair of earrings ever. We're going to put a flower bead on the wire. Why is this bent like that? That is took that off. Apparently we're not far enough down. Okay, we have the little flower that'll sit on top, and then I'm going to use 2 of these. I think I actually want some spacer in between. These are going to be quick and easy little, just little drop earrings, just like that. Or do I want something below it? Well, I'm trying to think. If I had 2 more of the greenback notes, I would have used those. What I'm thinking is maybe use one of the little petal flowers first, or the little petal beads first, and then put the flower. Oh, yes, that's cute. Love it. Okay, and then we're gonna go with the ball space. On top, cute little. Oh, that's gonna be cute with the little green petal bead. I'm wondering if I should do 2. Don't have very many of them. I'm probably sure I have 2. No, I know I have 2. There's one. That one is not a petal bead. That one's the other bead. Okay, I'm gonna find one more if I'm gonna use these. Otherwise, can only do one at a time. Yes, I can do one at a time. But I also do have these drops that could be kind of cute underneath. No, it's too small. Okay, we're gonna do the petal bead. Sorry, I didn't mean to keep that. We're just going to do the petal bead and then our little flower bead. And I might just leave it at that because I think that's so cute. I want to see just sort of like what it looks like with both. So I know if I need to go on a treasure hunt, see if I can't find one more. These holes are so hard to find. No, I feel like that's way too much. One is enough. Okay, no treasure hunt. No treasure hunt for you. Come on. This hole. Yeah, I think I just want to keep them as very cute little delicate flowers. So I'm gonna want to bend this straight out so that we can keep the leaf in one position. So we're gonna go pretty tight on this loop, and if I have to go around twice to make that happen, then I will. Because like I said, I want the leaf bead to stay where we put it. So the way to do that is to get make sure that it's tight. Go past just a little bit more to make it easier to fit. Okay. Okay, go in here and push. Now wire sticking out. Okay. It's like not. I need my wire facing the other way, but there we go. Okay, one more piece. I will show you the earwax real quick. Tip of the wire, tip of the pliers, and you're just going to wind it around twice. Then while that's still on, you're going to come and butt that up. Seems like I have the same thing I had last time. I do. Sorry about that. I think it's just from like having the grip onto it so tight. And then we're just gonna push that wire up through the center. I'm gonna grab our pliers. We're gonna grab our nylon jaw pliers. Just gonna pull this up and through. And then one time, that one not much better than the last one. Gonna pop it out, hold my nylon jaw pliers, and it should straighten that up for the most part. I've cut off the very end because the wire got marred. And we're gonna do a leaf bead and another flower, and I kind of want these. I want the leaves to be on the opposite sides. So it's kind of so that when it's in your ear, the petals are facing different ways. So we have our beads on. We're going to go just above the flower, and we're going to bend it slightly, and then we're going to take our pliers in, up, over, rotate, come all the way to the back, And again, we're going to wrap this up as tight as is necessary so that the flowers and leaves don't move around. That would be annoying if you're wearing them and all of a sudden you're not facing the right way. Not that it matters. Okay. I was gonna say not that it matters, they're the same thing, but they're not. There's like the little swoopy action going on. Okay, then here's your water. I'm gonna show you the ear wires, and then I will sign off for the evening. Okay, so all you need to do is cut a piece of wire to 45 centimeters. If you have a ball head pin that is 45 centimeters, go ahead and you can pull that out, and then you have the ball. I'm just going to show you a simple loop or a simple technique that I do that gets me consistent ear wires without like having to make them two at a time. Why don't you move that? Okay, 22 each wire. That is also 20. Where's the 22? 24, 26, 20, 20. I literally just had. Where did we go? Where's the one? Each wire. Because I looked at the sticker and it did in fact say 22 days. That's 24. I feel like I'm losing my mind sometimes when this happens. Well, I lost it a long time. But, oh, how did I just lose that? I was like, oh, I know this is 22 gauge wire. Oh, no, the sticker even says 22 gauge. Like, that whole conversation just happened, and yet I can't find the spool of wire I was using when I said that. There's another. This one's 22. Don't. I have no idea what just happened. I didn't think I put this away, but I may. No, this one doesn't have a sticker. It must have fallen off the desk. It is under the desk. Sorry, I'm trying to find the end of this wire. When it gets to about this point in the spool, okay, so I'm going to take my nylon jaw pliers and I'm going to straighten this out. And then I'm going to, as much as I can with nylon jaw pliers, then I'm going to cut it and I'm going to, am I going to roll it? No, it'll be fine. So no, it won't. I want it straight. Hold on. Sorry. Like I said, all you do is take your plier or your wire and you go to a flat area and you just like roll things over the top of it. Not. Yes. Oh, this way. Okay. This is not working, and it's very noisy. What did I use earlier that was like working so easily? Did I use, sorry, like I said, it is 12:19 a.m. So it is way past my, oh yeah, I used to look for, Okay. Are you kidding me? I dropped it on the floor. He's been getting eaten by the target. It's not as straight as it was. Oh, it's not. Okay. Everything else. I need to know. Okay. So you're gonna come to your ruler, and I prefer rulers that are like the measurement goes all the way till the end, and you're just going to come up to where the 4.5 centimeter mark is, and you're going to cut that with the other end, so that both ends are flush. We're gonna trim this little bit off, and we're going to do the exact same thing with this one. You're gonna cut it right at 45 millimeters or 4.5 centimeters. Okay, so we have two straight pieces of wire that are the same size, other than this little part that wasn't flush. So that works out actually. All right, so we have two pieces of wire. All you're gonna need is your 6-step bell making pliers, and you will be able to make identical ear wires whenever you want to. So you're going to take your 6-step bell making pliers. I'm gonna go with the small setting. You don't want to be able to feel anything there, and you're gonna roll this until it hits the wire. Okay. Then you're going to decide how big you want your ear wire. If you want it at the 5th step, the 4th step, the 6th step. I prefer the 5th step personally. So that's where I'm going to go. So I'm going to face my loop away from the barrel that I want to wrap around. Then you're just going to pull your wire up, over, and down. Pull it out. If you like a kick, cut the kick. I will tell you that a great way to know and to keep it consistent with the little kick is to find a pair of pliers that are the width of what you want. And then you're going to take them and go right to the edge, can't feel anything, and you're going to bend up just like that. And you got your kick. Show you one more time, and then I will show you that they are identical. Pliers. Do that. And we're going to wrap this around till it hits the wire behind it. Again, we want the 5th step. We're going to go up, over, and down. We're going to take that same pair of pliers, and we're just going to do a little kick. And now I will show you that these are identical ear wires without having to have both wires on the, sorry, my fingers are too big to do this with. Oh my gosh, come on. Sorry, guys. They literally match up perfectly. Normally, when I'm not exhausted, I can like set them on top of each other. I've done it in several videos, so that's why I'm like, come on now. There we go. Absolutely perfect. I'm gonna bring Pixie down. Sorry for the motion, but you see, one's on top of the other, and yet they're the exact same size all the way. So you will always have matching ones if you follow those steps. Then you're going to open your loop. You're going to make sure that the swoopy part, if you have these kind of beads, is facing outwards. Otherwise, it's like, what is that green bead do? So there's one of our earrings. I'm going to open this loop. Forgot to work hard in me. Okay, swoopy side facing out. So there we go. Video 1 of the bead party is complete. We have a cute pair of earrings. We have a beautiful necklace that has hand woven pieces to components. And then we have our little bracelet. So we have a full set. But I will be back again. Either we'll continue this in the morning. Well, it's morning for me. And continue the series, or I will wait. I'll do my morning live with something else, and then we can carry on with this in future videos. I'm hoping to get these out to you soon. So I will probably set this to be released after my live, or later that afternoon. And then I'm going to try to have one on a video to release on Saturday so that it works out. Until then, everybody, I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your morning, day, afternoon, weekend, year, whatever. I hope it's a great one for you. And that you're successful. If you wouldn't mind hitting the thumbs up button, subscribing to my channel if you're not, leaving a comment down below. If there are any like jewelry ideas that you would like me to consider doing. But until then, as always, happy beading.